I am just so unbelievably happy. I want to cry. I want to laugh. I want to be excited. It's too much. I'm not okay. I'm hanging on by a single thread. Hello, welcome or welcome back to my channel, and I'm really excited because I've put this off for way too long, but we're going to be reading, I don't know what happened. We're going to be reading the Legacy series by Melissa K. Roick. I'm going to be rereading books 1 and 2 and then reading books 3 and 4 for the very first time. I am so excited, but I'm also really dreading it because this is a dark romantasy and I have no idea what I'm in for. I think I've heard that the ending of book 3 is really tough and like a huge cliffhanger. I'm so glad that I waited to read book 3 when book 4 was out so that I can just wrap up the whole series and I don't have to live with a cliffhanger anymore, because living with the cliffhanger of book 1 and then with the cliffhanger of book 2 was absolutely agonizing. Like it was really hard because all I could think about between those release dates was the ending and what was going to happen and trying to decipher what happened. So we're going to dive into the Legacy series. I've put this off for way too long. It hasn't actually been that long. It's been, what, 4 weeks since I got my copy of A Dawn of Chaos and Fury. Then I was finishing my Legacy, my Lady of Darkness reread. And then I just had a few books that I wanted to read first to get through my TBR, but we're doing it. We're reading the Legacy series. I'm so excited. As you can see, very annotated. We are going to be continually annotating all 4 books, so this is going to be very fun. Get ready for a lot of crying, screaming, laughing, giggling, and just having a bit of a roller coaster journey while reading these books, because Melissa K. Roick really knows how to put you through the works. So yeah, this is gonna be really interesting. I have avoided spoilers like it's my life's mission because I don't want to know the relationships in here. I really don't want to know because I don't know who I'm rooting for just yet, even though I've read books 1 and 2, but I'm just so torn. So yeah, this is gonna be fun. So come along with me while I read the Legacy series. It's update time for book 1 in the Legacy series, Reign of Shadow and Endings. I am currently 50% the way through this book, and I have to say, I didn't realize how much of a struggle this was going to be to get through. I read this for the first time 2 years ago, and this is my first time doing a reread. And although I read this 2 years ago, it has like written itself into my brain. I remember every single thing that happens within this book. I remember every single trauma, every emotional roller coaster, everything that happens. And while that's very rare for that to happen with books I've read for the first time, I know when a book is a god tier book when that happens, and this is obviously that. It's just, it is emotionally devastating. There's so much that happens with these characters. I am also annotating it a ton. I'm writing in the corners, in the margins, I'm highlighting. There is so much that happens that is so glaringly obvious that this is part of a multiverse when you have read Lady of Darkness first and then this. Even if you read it the other way around and then do a reread, you'll be able to see things very clearly. And I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. I love this series so much, but it is hard to read and I do need to take breathers just to see that there's not all bad. There's not all darkness in the world. And yeah, it really reminded me how much I hate this character and being inside his brain, because the way he thinks is obviously because of the way he was raised, but I hate being in his brain sometimes. Sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's fine and he seems to be like a normal caring human being, and then sometimes it's just like I just want to knock his head into a wall and put some common sense into him. But that's how it's going so far. I am planning on reading, well, I'd really like to finish this within this week. This is the last week of January, so I'd really like to finish this within January because it was my January TBR, and then dive into book 2 soon after. So I think I'm going to stay up reading this, and I'll let you know how it goes. There is a specific scene I remember that has literally just been living in my brain, and it's the scene where she finally breaks. Well, I say finally, she has been breaking, but this is the scene where it kind of just and it's so hard to read, and it's been so hard to read. Just when you think it can't get any worse, it then gets worse. So I just can't imagine. Oh, I don't know. I have finished Reign of Shadow and Endings. Those last two not even last two chapters, those last several chapters is pure insanity. It's pure chaos, which obviously is very fitting because this is the chaos verse. Chaos plays a huge part in every single one of these books. But those chapters in particular, and you know what the hardest is rereading that scene that has literally just ingrained itself in my brain. I will never forget that specific scene, and I've named it in my head, and I've named it The Breaking of the Broken. And I don't know, when I read that chapter, that's just what pops out to me, is like when you think you can't break anymore and then you absolutely shatter into a billion pieces. But this is Tessa's story. Book 2 is gonna be absolutely wild. I am so excited to read book 3 and 4. I have no idea what I'm in for. Yeah, absolutely crazy. If you could see the pure this series, Melissa K. Roick series, for me are the most annotated books that I own. I go absolutely feral with the annotations. There are so many bits that I've highlighted and written in, and I never used to be a writer in my books. I never used to write in the margins or highlight anything. I used to have these like clear, translucent sticky tabs, and I still use those when I have a lot to say. But I've really gotten over that, not graffitiing my books, because they're my books. These are books I'm never going to sell. I'm never going to get rid of. They're going to live with me forever. And so why wouldn't I write my thoughts and my feelings and my theories in the margins of these books? Because they're me, they're mine. I love to reread and then see my thoughts and how much I got right or how much I got wrong. This series is just absolutely everything, and I'm going to be diving into book 2 today. It took all my willpower not to pick up book 2 late last night because I knew I had to get up so early. Book 2, not that much annotated in this one, but by the end of this, it's going to be absolutely annotated to hell, because there's so much that's going to happen. There's so much in the multiverse that happens in this specific book, because characters come up. Anyway, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but really excited to this. Really excited to see Tessa's training sequence with the Huntress. And rereading this, it made me realise that obviously I knew who her dad was. She's related distantly to Scarlet, who is the main character in Lady of Darkness, because her father is the brother of Scarlet's mother. And we don't know a huge lot about Tamiriel. He wasn't a really big focus. We really knew a lot about Sala. Anyway, she was the main focus goddess within that book, so we got to know a lot about her. Even then, it's still vague, but Tamiriel was not really spoken about. We don't really know what's going on with him, and in book 1, towards the end, we start to have hints about Tamiriel. We get told, I mean very vaguely, that he is Tessa's father. It's very obvious, but it's not written in, like, it's not plainly written for us. You kind of just connect the dots. But Tamiriel is Tessa's father, and we have that one scene with him at the end where he's talking to Sailor about trying to get protection for Tessa. And a piece that I didn't connect when reading Reign of Shadow and Endings is that Luca was supposed to be Tessa's guardian. Luca was never supposed to be Theon's guardian. He was supposed to be Tessa's, and things obviously didn't go to plan. And they didn't really realize that obviously Luca and Tessa would be grown up very, very far away from each other, so the chances of a guardian bond happening would be very, very low. Also, Tessa's magic is very reminiscent of the Achaz legacy, but she also has very different powers. So I'm really, really looking forward to understanding more about her power, how much power she has, how different her power is, because she is literally descended from two gods. Because I think Tamuriel's mate is also a goddess, a lower goddess, but I'm pretty sure she's a goddess, where Scarlet is part, her mother is the goddess, but her dad was a legacy. So it likely that Tess is way more powerful. So the High Queen of the World Walkers will be showing up in Secrets and in book 2, and there's another scene that I'm really, really excited to see. I'm really excited to see more of Liza and Razek, because I have so many questions from certain scenes of this, that when Tessa's magic was being tested and she was seeing these visions, towards the end you start to realize those visions weren't actually false, they were real. And there's one specific scene that shows Eliza and Razek talking about Scarlet trying to make it in time. Well, Eliza wanting Scarlet to come to save Tessa. So I'm wondering if that's a premonition or if that's something that had happened that, I don't know, very confused by that scene. I don't know if that's answered in book 2. I don't think so. I can't remember. But so many questions. So many questions and not enough answers. So into book 2 we go. I will have a lot more to say, a lot more theories to put out there. I don't think I really talk about my theories. I keep forgetting that this is a spoiler-filled reading vlog, so I'll try to be more spoiler-filled. So I will get back to you when I'm some way through this and let you know how it's going. Okay, I look so rough, but I don't care because I am 233 pages into Storm of Secrets and Sorrows, and I'm about to cry because there is this scene that I have been dying to get to, and it's the scene where Scarlet and Soren finally appear. They finally start to get involved, and they're just interacting with the other characters. I'm actually gonna cry. I don't know why I've been so emotional lately, but I am just so unbelievably happy. The Scarlet and Soren are here, and Scarlet is being her typical wicked self. I just love her so much. I love them both so much, and I can't wait to see the other characters that I know are going to show up in here. Eliza and Razek are going to show up in here, and I love them as much as I love Scarlet and Soren. These books just make me so happy. But anyway, I'm waiting to get to the bit where Theon realizes that Scarlet is the female that he saw in the mirror ages ago, and that he has been arguing with Luca that he saw, and Luca doesn't believe that he saw her, and Luca doesn't believe a lot of things that Theon knows and suspects, but then ends up being proven right. And I'm just so happy. And Tessa and Scarlet are cousins, I guess, because her uncle is Tessa's father. I'm just so happy. I'm just so happy. So yeah, I've just gone to a bit where I'm really, really freaking excited because I love them so much, and I just get so excited to seeing characters from other books appear in the next books, and I'm just so excited. It's also really funny because obviously Scarlet and Soren are mates. Well, they are twin flames, and Soren is a very, very powerful fae, and Scarlet is a legacy-ish. Well, actually, no, yeah, she is a legacy. Tess is not a legacy. But
obviously Scarlet is used to a very different dynamic with the Fae and the Legacy in her world, where in this world the Fae are seen beneath the Legacy, and she's now finding out that Tessa is Theon's source when it should be the other way around. And I guess it could be the other way around because the marks should be the same, I think. But yeah, it's just like they're querying it. They're like, she's your source? And Theon's confused as to why they keep questioning it, because she's more powerful, so he should be her source. But we're also getting hints that things have gone wrong from the projected plan that I guess Tessa's father set out. And they've kind of messed it up, so things are just going a bit wonky. But yeah, I'm so excited.
I have so much fun. As you saw last night, I was really excited. I'm having the best time reading Storm of Secrets and Sorrows. That's not to say it's not a hard time, it's not difficult to wade through. It definitely is, but I'm just loving the comeback of characters that I love. I'm loving Tessa's really growing into herself, and we're seeing aspects of her personality and aspects of her that we don't see when we're in her brain. Just how clever she is and how cunning she is. And I'm really liking that we're seeing that side of her come out and get stronger and fight for herself more. I'm really looking forward to book 3, because I think that is going to be the one where she's really coming into her own. She's confident in herself and all that stuff, because right now she's a little bit timid, especially her interactions with Dex and Aurelia. She cannot see that she's being manipulated, and it's blatantly obvious to us, but it's not obvious to her because she grew up with them. She didn't have anyone to have her back, so finally having friends for her, she was so desperate to keep them that she overlooked red flags. But God, do I hate them. And it's worse now that you know that he's a seraph. So you know, if you've read Lady of Darkness, you know what seraphs are. They are evil. They are used by the Achaz god, well, Achaz, the god of beginnings, and they're just not good people. I am 300 pages in. I'm almost 50% the way through. I really want to try and finish this tonight. I don't know how likely that's going to be, because annotating takes longer to do when I'm reading. I'm so scared to go into book 3. Reading books 1 and 2, I knew what I was in for. I knew what was going to happen because I read it already. Wading into books 3 and 4, I have no idea what I'm in for. I have no idea how intense or bad it's going to get, and I'm guessing book 3 is going to be bad because, well, it's the 3rd book, and the 4th book is the final book, so things aren't going to be resolved. So I'm scared. I'm very scared. I love Tessa. Knowing she's the cousin of Scarlet, they're so very different, but they're also so very similar. Tessa is just more timid and scared and has more anxiety than Scarlet does, where Scarlet kind of puts up a hard front. Tessa's just a little bit different than that. Yeah, can I just say, Scarlet's interactions with Theon, lived for it. Absolutely creasing, because Theon needs to be put in his place. He's a little bit too cocky, a little bit too full of himself, and Scarlet, well, she ain't gonna have none of that because Scarlet. So when she was putting him in his place and just wasn't terrified of him at all, he did not like that, and I loved it. So yeah, loving this, living for this. I will give an update when I'll probably have updates while I'm reading this, but I will give an update when I'm finished. I'm 56% the way through Tempest of Wrath and Vengeance, and it's taking me a little bit longer to go through this because I'm not as keen to pick it up as I was with books 1 and 2, where I just couldn't put it down and I couldn't get enough. But I feel like book 3 is a little bit more difficult to wade through. I think this is going to be my first Melissa K. Warwick book that's not going to be a 5-star. I think I'm leaning towards a 4.5 star. Just because certain things feel a little bit long-winded, and I'm feeling pretty frustrated with the main character. I was frustrated with her in the first 2 books, but I understood
and it was part of it. It was fine. It felt like it worked. I'm now frustrated her for a whole nother reason, and it doesn't feel like it's working. And it just feels like, you know, we're being told she's so smart and she's figuring things out and she's definitely putting things together quicker than anyone else. But then there are certain situations where it just doesn't feel like she's being smart, and it feels like she's being a bit naive. And maybe it's because I feel like there are elements that we're not being told and that Tessa's keeping from us, but there are other elements that just seem kind of obvious, that her motivations for certain things doesn't make sense. The whole plot revolves around this prophecy that is central to Tessa. She is the prophecy. She is going to be the cause of the end of the world if it's being interpreted that way. And now she feels like it is her life mission to fulfill this prophecy, and she has to because of this prophecy. But then she doesn't like when people tell her that she has to do stuff and that she doesn't like to be controlled, but she's letting this prophecy control her. And I don't know if she doesn't see it, but we know that she wants to leave Devram. She wants to leave the realm, but she's stuck, and she's being told that the only way she can leave is if she works for Achaz and fulfills the prophecy and does what he wants. But she's being manipulated to fulfill this prophecy and to fulfill Achaz's own ends. And also, she is also part of Arius. Her paternal line is the Arius line. So she's part Achaz, part Arius. They both hate each other. Achaz has given her the mission of killing everyone that is Arius descendant or legacy or anything tied to Arius. He wants her to kill. But then it's like she thinks that he's going to let her live after she fulfills his mission. Like, that's just really naive thinking and is not going to happen. So we don't really know. I think a lot has been kept with us, but I'm still feeling very frustrated with the naivety with Tessa's closing her eyes to certain situations. And especially now that she's become aware of the Achaz law being part of the Fae breeding program and the behind the scenes breeding program that no one knows about. And it's like, you now know, it's now very, very obvious that he's controlling you, that he wants to create a match for you so that he can control the descendants of your power and where your power goes. And he's made it obvious that he's now controlling her and that he's manipulating her the entire time. And I'm just like, why aren't you getting out of the situation? Why are you staying for what? Like, what's going on? So just because of that, it's just a little bit harder to pick up, because I'm just like, I just want you to figure this out. I just want you to get out of the situation and wake up and realize that you're fulfilling a prophecy that you don't have to fulfill, and that you're balancing on the edge that you can never come back from, and everyone's warning you and you're ignoring their warnings, and you're also ignoring your feelings for Luca, even though he's been there for you. Like, she's just so blind to certain situations, and then she berates people for the situations they put her in, and then puts people in the same situations, and it's like she's just kind of a hypocrite. But I'm planning on finishing this tonight so that I can dive into the third book. I'm really hoping that the end of this, things are going to come together and everything's going to become, we're going to be illuminated to a lot of stuff. I'm still very intrigued and I'm very hooked. It's just difficult to wade past this, but I'm so excited how this is going to come together, and I have no idea how this is going to come together and what the ending's going to be, but it's fantastic so far and I just love this series. But yeah, if things don't turn around and I don't have that overwhelming feeling, I just don't think this is going to be a 5-star, which is shocking when I came to that conclusion last night, because I've never had a Melissa K. Roick book that I have not rated 5-star, like, at all. So very, very shocking, but we'll see. I'm not sticking with that rating just yet because I haven't finished it, so that may change, but that's what I'm feeling like so far. So Logic deems that I should go to bed after finishing this because I have to be up at 5. But the illogical part of me says stay up all night and finish and start the final book, because oh my god, things are finally coming together and I am on the edge of my seat. I want to cry, I want to laugh, I want to be excited. It's too much. Wow. The sorceress is her grandmother? Wait, does that mean Tessa's going to be the ruler of everything? Scarlet is the High Queen of the World Walkers. But is Tessa going to be the ruler of everything? Oh my god, I'm so excited to read book 4. Oh my god, you know what? It was slow in the middle and it was a little bit frustrating, but it was so worth it and it made so much more sense as I was reading it. It's a 5-star. There's no way it's anything else but a 5-star. That was I need time to process that. I'm not okay. I want to cry, I want to laugh, I want to be excited. It's too much. The fact that I have to wait to pick up book 4 because that was just wow. Okay. $223 pages into Dawn of Chaos and Fury. Melissa K. Rourke really, really loves to keep you in pain throughout this entire book. So many pain points of this have been so heartbreakingly painful. I don't know what to do with myself. Nothing's easy. Like, not a single book is easy. Nothing gets better, I guess. I mean, things get better, but the things you want to get better doesn't get better, and there's so many misunderstandings and lack of communication, which I mean is what is based on this entire book, is that. And it's like I keep expecting things to work out. I mean, this is the final book. Does that mean we only get a small morsel of everything working out, of these characters being together? Because right now they're all separated, all of them. Just when I thought everything was okay and everything was going to work out and we had one part of it together, we had Luca and Tessa working, and then it all went to shit so quickly. My head was spinning. And now Tessa's left Luca because she betrayed him and he can't forgive her, and you can definitely see the development in Tessa because she knows she betrayed him. She knows she was wrong. She thinks that she doesn't deserve his forgiveness. And then she wants to give him his freedom, which is why she left, because she thinks he deserves better and that he wants to be free of her. So she's done that. She's removed herself from the scenario. So now Luca is somewhere, Theon's somewhere, now fucking married. Like, what the fuck? My heart really broke when I saw that he was married and that he actually went through with it, because I was in denial about that happening. I really thought that vision would not come true and Tessa would finally be with all of them. And although Tessa did threaten to kill Felicity, so maybe that's what happens and the union mark breaks. I don't know, but this is so painful. This is truly the most emotionally wrenching book series I've ever read, because I just feel like I'm never okay. At any point of this am I ever okay. But I'm also getting really angsty. So every time the POV switches from Tessa, Theo, or Luca, I'm like, please, can we get back to the core of it? I don't know. I don't yet understand the point of Iviana's POV, because she's a side character. And she didn't really seem important because she's a whole different aspect. Like, she's not really a part of the main characters' lives in that kind of way. But we're getting her POV in this book. Must be for a reason. I mean, she's currently on a journey to save her daughter, I think. I think that's her goal. But I have no idea why we're getting this POV. I'm wondering if maybe this is setting up for another book that's going to be the daughter. But oh, I also have a theory. So in Lady of Darkness, we're told about these breeding encampments, breeding facility in the mountains that the Reaper came from and that Kalia came from. It looks like what they tried to do in that realm, they're trying to do in this realm, or they've been trying to do it before Tessa kind of tore it all down. But I'm wondering, like, what is the goal of that? Why are they trying so hard to breed certain fae together to create what kind of result? I don't understand. Because in that realm, they were obviously trying to create a being like Kalia. We don't know what Kalia is. She's obviously one part of a huntress, as we're told in this book, of the huntresses and their existence. But we're also told that she's not fully a huntress. She's something else. They were very, very upset in Lady of Darkness. Upset is underplaying it, but they were upset that Clea disappeared and that she escaped and that the Reaper wrecked all their work. Is that what they're trying to achieve? But obviously Clea wasn't the final goal. Like, they haven't gotten there yet. I'm so... It's like this niggling thought in the back of my head. What are they trying to achieve? Why are they desperate to breed? What is the end goal here? I'm guessing realm domination. But still, what breed, what fae or being are they trying to create? But yeah, that's where I'm at so far. I can't believe this is the final book. This doesn't feel like the final book. I don't think any final book in a series that you're obsessed with feels like the final book, but this doesn't feel like the final book. I'm right. He tricked them into thinking that Karis was dead a long time ago, but kept her hidden. Got it. I got it. I have 100 pages left. And you're thinking, why does that disturb you so much? How the fuck does this book end in 100 pages? Nothing is resolved. I have so many questions. There is 100 pages left. I've been sitting here reading for way too long. I've been sitting here reading for... it's 1 a.m. I've been reading since 6. So 7 hours I've been sitting here reading, which is absolutely insane because the fact that I've only read 300 pages. 400 pages. No, 500 pages, because there was 135 pages. That is not important. I don't know why I'm focusing on that. There is 100 pages left. My annotating is so sparse. I just can't pull myself out enough to annotate. So much shit's happening. I'm like, I just don't understand how this is the final book. I mean, I know how this is the final book, but 100 pages? Clearly the underlying plot is supposed to go through more books, because there is no way. I mean, it was like that in Lady of Darkness. We had this underlining plot, this plot that had spanned centuries that we were only aware about in Lady of Darkness because it was the first book in the series. But there is this obvious, very obvious plot that spans centuries, that spans Lady of Darkness, that spans this. I obviously didn't think that was going to be resolved in this to an extent. Well, actually, no, I kind of did. Yeah, no, I did. But it's obviously not the case because I don't know how the fuck that's going to be in 100 pages. But that makes me really excited for the other books in the Chaos Verse, because obviously Tortured Souls, that duology is not going to be a continuation of this underlining plot with all the gods, because that is a backstory. I think there will definitely be clues and stuff that are probably integral to that plot. But I think the series after that must be a continuation, because, well, if she makes us wait any longer, that is just cruel. But I'm just shocked. 100 pages. This is a masterpiece. This is a masterpiece. Melissa K. Roick really knows how to wrench your soul out and stamp on it, make you care for characters, and then absolutely break your heart. So thank you so much for that. I will be sending you my therapy bill because I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I'm hanging on by a single thread, and I think this ending may just snip that thread. So thank you very much.
Well, this is it. The Legacy series has been completed. I can't believe it's over. I've been wanting to read it for so long, and now that's it. I finished it. It took a turn I was not expecting. I loved it. I loved the way it ended. Did I feel like the ending was a little rushed? I was expecting like a big boom. I was expecting like a huge war and like just so much like Lady of Darkness, and it wasn't that. But it does seem to be that this plot is going to continue in future books. It's definitely not resolved. Whether it's going to be with these characters or new characters, I don't know. But there's still a lot left in the air that is obviously going to come into future books. But I loved it. The journey was hard, but we got there in the end, and things resolved, and we got a happily ever after, and I'm so excited. It's so funny with each of the books. You can definitely see Fate or Melissa K. Roick weaving the threads into this plot. From Lady of Darkness to Legacy series, you can really see how each realm has an effect on each other, and these two characters that are related have a much bigger impact on this multiverse as a whole. And I'm so excited to see what the future books are going to bring, what it means for the realm as a whole, and everything that goes with it. I do have Tortured Souls now to read, which is the newest duology in the Chaosverse. It's following characters we were introduced to from book 3 in Lady of Darkness. I'm going to give myself a little bit of a break with Melissa K. Roick because her books are just emotionally wrenching, and I need some time to heal from Legacy series. But I will be diving into that very soon, and I'm sure it will be a reading vlog at some point. But this is a 5-star series. I know book 3 I didn't know if it was going to be a 5-star because it was a bit slow going and it just felt like we weren't really moving forward. But by the time I got to the end, everything kind of came together in the way it was meant to, and you could see that that was how it was supposed to work. And I loved it. And especially those last few chapters, the way I was just on the edge of my seat, smiling, wanting to cry, wanting to just throw my book in the air, just every emotion in the world I was going through in those last few chapters. But I was so happy, which is weird because it was devastating, but I was so happy, which makes no sense, but it is what it is. But now we have read the final book. I can't believe the series is over. I can't. Anyway, this was a journey. This was one hell of a journey. It's a 5-star series. It's a god tier series. Melissa K. Roick has done it again, roped me into loving these characters and loving these worlds. I just so much love for everything that she writes. But yeah, it's over, shockingly. But I really hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Actually, comment what book series would you like to see in another reading vlog. What book series would you like me to read in its entirety in a reading vlog? I really hope you enjoyed. I will see you in the next one. Bye.